Hi there, I'm Egil Thorsson with my good pal
Bragi.
And today we will be reading some of your comments.
Oh yes, we do like reading your comments. So let's start off with the latest photo on the channel, which was published today.
Oh.
And that was your tale of the black dog of the pool.
Ah.
And there's a comment here from Thomas Dale.
Hi Thomas.
Yeah, there are still lots and lots of big cat sightings as well. The phenomena is called alien big cats, or ABC. Now, that I've never heard of actually.
I haven't heard that, but I have heard, apparently, I saw a programme about this because there were sightings quite a few years back.
Let's just continue this comment. Much like the UFO categorisation, mostly they are seen to be escaped panthers or something like that. One of my friends reckoned that he saw a black panther in the village I grew up in, but I sort of think he was just telling tales though.
Well, cats do go feral very quickly. It's odd, well, it's not surprising. You see more cats when they're brought in about exotic pets and keeping them. The wild cat itself is a beast to behold. I've seen them in the zoos. And we actually had a cat that went feral, and that suddenly, like, it was on steroids. It was massive. So yeah, you know, the beast of Exmoor and all that.
I mean, certainly I've got a number of paper cuttings from the local paper of black cat sightings from the last 20 years, and there's been quite a few. So interesting comment, Thomas. So another comment here. At some point, I'll get around to doing a proper study of black dogs. It's fascinating, as you guys pointed it out.
Yeah, the hobhound originates, so I was told, from Odin's pet dog. Ah, Viking pets.
Yeah, indeed, yes.
But having said that, it then becomes the hobhound, which is the hound of the devil. And I've probably told you this about Kirk Ireton. They're the Newfoundland dog that used to go around.
Yeah, this is probably about the 5th time you told this tale, Egil. Well, can you tell it again?
A good story is worth telling.
It is a funny story.
Otherwise it doesn't become a cliche. They frighten the locals, and as I say, it was the local dog.
It's like a folk tale in itself, that story. Yeah. Perhaps we'll get you to tell it as a special.
Once upon a time, long ago. What's next?
So, Laugh Out Loud, the priest socks, a comment there. I'm not sure what that refers to. I've not watched that folk tale for a few weeks, I've forgotten. And Thomas says, I keep remembering the tales of Black Shuck and also the Black Dog legend that I keep bringing up from Chellaston.
Yeah.
Yes, you'll see that on other videos where we talked about the Black Dog.
Yeah.
So let's go on to the next video. And this was, what is a berserker? And this is one of the new videos on a Monday. And it's only a brief video. It wasn't meant to be a long video with a lot of research, because it's just a brief introduction to the subject. We are working on at the moment researching a number of videos around the topic of the berserker, and you will be seeing them in the future, but there will be much longer chats with both I and Egil.
I can tell you now, there's not that much on them, and what there is pure conjecture.
So we have a comment here from Egil Skallagrimson.
Hi Egil.
That's very cool video, brothers. Enjoyed watching this video with my morning coffee.
Good on you. Well, we aim to please.
Now, we've got a comment here from our very good friend, and that's Gary from Chiny.
Ah, China.
Chiny.
Oh, right.
He's the archery man.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's got 34,000 subscribers, Egil.
Good lad.
And he left a comment.
What's your secret?
Yeah. His lips began to quiver. Then I saw a smirk. Froth flew from his lips. And then he went berserk.
Oh, right.
Ha 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 ha. Thank you. Have fun, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I left a little reply here. You want me to read it to you?
Yeah,
you guys. Once I met a berserker, tall with battered shield. He was one of the Viking. Bite or shield would not yield. Thank you, Gary Bragi.
Thanks.
So, and what I'm trying to do with Gary's comments is leave a rhyming comment back.
Ah, that explains a lot.
It's like a little game we're playing.
Oh, right.
So, we have a comment here from Ancient Survival.
Oh, it's a new one.
Yes, so he's new to the channel. Welcome.
Hi.
Great video on one of my favourite subjects. I'd like to mention that the same ambiguity as the English bear versus bear existed in Old Norse.
Oh.
So there may have been bear of armour, or wore literally bear shirts or spiritual bear shirts.
I know he's coming across that, yeah.
Meaning taking the shirt or mantle or spirit of the bear.
Yeah.
In shamanistic terms, we'll call that croaking, when you take on the element of the spirit of the animal. Now, reading continue this comment, I personally don't believe any psychotropics were used, or manita, or magic mushroom, fly garlic, do exist in the region and were prevalent use by Siberian shamans, but there's no reference to the Old Norse using them, and arguably they will probably put you into a state in which you could not fight, but we may never know. Well, actually, they did try this in a documentary, and was it not Rolo from Reggae Anglorum who they gave magic mushrooms to and made him do a number of tasks like throwing spears and throwing axes and trying some Viking combat? It was, but I can't remember the series.
No, I don't remember that. I remember vaguely, but...
So, I'll just read a comment here on that comment thread from Techno Sagers. So, hello Techno.
Hi Techno.
The bear things come from snowy. Deliberately or otherwise, he got the etymology wrong. It's bearskin. Other words of interest include bearing of the bear. Otherwise, the well-attested wolfskin and boar warriors don't make sense.
Got a point.
Yeah. So we have a comment here from a guy called Blackwater. And it's a new comment on the channel. So first of all, I'd say welcome.
Welcome, yeah.
And this is on the same video, the Viking Berserker. And they said that was poorly researched.
It wasn't researched at all.
Well, I'll explain that. It is believed that there is a medical condition behind going berserk, as berserkers all showed the same symptoms. About 12 hours of rage followed by 3 days of barely able to get out of bed whilst they recover.
So what's it called?
Well, they also suffer from becoming progressively dumber, among other things. It is most likely that something to do with glucose deficit in the brain after berserking, which caused brain damage, the effects of which accumulated over time. And to this we've had 15 replies.
Yeah.
So I'll read some of them.
Go on then.
So I'll read you my reply. Well, this is just a brief video on what is a berserker from the point of view of what Egil thinks as a Viking reenactor and as someone who has studied archaeology. As for the research, to be poorly researched would imply I did some research.
Well,
I did not on this video. I am leaving that for a much longer video where we will go into depth and both chat about this intriguing aspect of Viking history. Cool point on going berserk being a medical condition rather than self-induced. On that I'd like to read more, please.
Yeah, tell us.
Cool comment thread, as always, and I look forward to reading more. Do you want to talk before I read more comments?
Well, I mean, you talk about the medical condition. Has it mysteriously stopped in the 12th century?
Well, yes, that's a good point.
Has it run out? Because I've never heard of any other illness at any other time. Before, it's very convenient. It fits in the Viking age.
It's okay leaving comments when you talk about these things, but when you leave a comment and you don't actually reinforce what you're talking about, or put a link, I'm unhappy to share
I may be
links.
wrong. I may be wrong.
But
fair enough.
It does take further research.
Yeah. Well, we were asked off the top of our heads, weren't we, at the time?
You can understand to a degree that it could be a medical condition, and you could partly see that.
But why is it then only Vikings get it, and it only happens from 793 to 1066? What happened before that and after that? Because we don't hear anything more about it. We're brave people. Maybe it was drug induced. If so, I don't know.
I'm very doubtful on that.
Yeah,
because let's face it, if you're a Viking warrior and you're just taking a large amount of, let's say, fly garlic,
you die.
If you're not going to die because you don't. Well, I don't think they would do it. I think the majority of the time they'll know what they're doing with the herbs and the mushrooms. But you certainly wouldn't be in a state where you could actually go and fight. You couldn't possibly do that.
Wouldn't be because if they did fight as a berserker, that they'd actually do better financially and socially. Just a thought.
Of course, there's also the intimidation factor of being a berserker.
Didn't stop Egil.
Well, no. And what happens to berserkers in trials of combat?
Yeah, they don't live that long.
Well, let's carry on this little comment thread. So it is believed, this is from Techno Sagas.
Hi Techno.
By whom? Name of condition, question mark. References, question mark. See, Freikat. Denmark burials, approximately 10th century. Henbane, identified in grave finds. Henbane petals rubbed into the skin have a numbing effect, for example. Interestingly, this works on anyone who tries it, so their symptoms would appear to be the same, as would the effects of most drugs. Funny that. If you have ever seen the effects of the come down from amphetamines, you might recognise the energy straight lethargy thing too. You seem to be hot on research. Why not check out Roman descriptions of Germanic ritual dancers? And what about the wolfskin and the boar warriors?
Yeah.
Did they have all the same illnesses? Or is it more likely that those were totem animals as hinted in the pre-plec plates on various helmet finds? You could research those too. It is fair to say that there's a lot of academic discussion on this subject, and many aspects shy away from the chemical enhancement theories. There are also the ways to alter one's state of mind. Energetic dancing, for example. Regardless of what you think of this video, it seems that in research, Mr. Kettle is called him Mr. Black.
Kettle, yeah. Also, can I just say, don't try any of the drugs.
No.
We're against this for obvious reasons. We don't want you getting hurt or injured or suffering any conditions. So just don't use it.
If you ever go looking for mushrooms, you should always go with a properly qualified layman who knows what they're doing. Because a mushroom, it may not kill you tomorrow, but a bad mushroom can kill you 20 years down the line. That's how they work.
It can even kill you on the spot.
Oh yes, you know.
Or either ways.
So don't do it, folks. Go to your local shop and buy them, and have them with your breakfast. So we've got to log back in again.
Okay.
So any more thoughts on those comments, Egil?
Well, I think Techno Sage covers it beautifully. Like you say, if you're going to do research, and you just name your research, where you came from, what you did, instead of just saying it.
Oh yes, there's more comments from that, and we could read them, but I think we'll go to some more comments now. We've covered that. So let's have a look. So this is on the Folktale Chat Red Riding Hood. And this is a comment which I talked about earlier, though you guys won't see the video yet. And this is from a channel called Stories That Pop. And he basically tells folk tales to children in person. And he gave us a really nice comment a few weeks back saying how great our channel is and how it's nice to see us in person telling these tales. So he says, love the banter, really enjoyed the discussion. Red Riding Hood is just a fun tale to share. It is important to remember, I think, that before folklore received the Disney treatment, they wasn't just for kids.
No, they're not.
I'd be curious which adaptations existed before our cultural perspective on story change and why audiences they best receive for each adaptation. A very cool comment.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, the story of Cinderella, obviously, the original version, the ugly sisters are cutting bits off their feet to fit in the shoes, which I can't imagine young Junior liking that before she went to bed. I was dreaming of having the feet chopped up.
Oh yes. So let's go to another comment, and this comes from Rickardson. He's one of our Viking brothers, as you all are, and let's not forget our Viking sisters too.
Absolutely.
And he says, what a fascinating video on a classic fairy tale. I do prefer the original version over the more child-friendly version, as it teaches you not to go wandering woods and forests.
That's true.
For a child is a big place and can easily be lost or hurt.
Yeah, the original tells us that.
And we have another comment here from Ancient Survival.
Hi, Ancient.
On the same video.
Yeah.
And they say, another great video. Have you noticed the similarities to Loki's descriptions in Thrimskavida and his father of the wolf? I don't necessarily believe there are any direct connections here, except perhaps tropes common in old story writing. But anything is possible in the murky depths of our pasts.
Yeah.
I think the simplest origin seems to be the warning to children about the woods, and that the very common and very useful messages in children's tales.
Well, to be honest, we forget about the woods now because there's hardly any here left.
Yes.
But when these were written, of course...
Although we are close to the National Forest.
Yeah, but even so, you've got to walk quite a way to get there. It's not as though it's on your doorstep like it would have been at that time. And of course, we forget. You've got wild boar, you've got wild cats, you've got bears, you have wolves, and brigands and various other things.
Oh, yes.
Probably even have snakes, adders, which don't kill you, but unless you've got a heart problem.
So Agent Survival left another comment on this comment thread.
Okay.
And a comment thread is basically when you get a comment and somebody else replies, that becomes a comment thread. So, at Northwood, he solves the story. Thank you.
Oh.
Fuck. I did a wiki search and they mentioned the Thrims Gavida connection, and I do hope I'm pronouncing that right, twice on the page. So I feel a bit less astute. I wasn't able to find any references to the Italian version, because apparently there's an Italian version of Red Riding Hood. However, they do mention a classic Greek story with some similarities which I found fascinating. Oh, right. If you have
way back then.
If you have a link to what you've been reading, I'd love to read that. And I do thank you for all the comments, because your comments really do make the channel. And we do learn a lot, don't we?
Certainly do.
So, and you know, it's your channel as much as ours. So, Thomas Dale says, I do wonder if there's any meaning behind the woodsman saving Red Riding Hood at the end. It's just a more child-friendly version. Yeah. So that the little Red Riding Hood doesn't die.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at more comments to read. So, he said, yeah, this is from Thomas Dale. So, hello, Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of anthropological study behind this tale. It's meant to be a Saxon tale, or one of the German states from around year 700. Yeah. So, it's a very old tale.
You can imagine, actually, people doing a degree in folklore.
Yes.
Fairy stories, for want of a better word.
So we have a comment here from Tangi.
Hi, Tangi.
And this is on the video, The Saxon Sax, came out on Saturday. I learned so much from you guys, but sadly, I forgot most of it. But if there isn't a test or a quiz, then I'm all good. 2 smiley faces.
Yeah,
no
you're
quizzes.
All right. You're all right there, babe. Don't worry about it. We appreciate that sometimes I'm the same, and Bragi will tell you he's the same. Sometimes you learn it and it goes out the one.
Oh yeah, you can't remember everything.
Yeah, so no problem.
I can often remember the photos, but I just can't remember the place and the names.
Yeah.
Now, a comment here from Thomas Dale on the same video. Hares being a sacred animal to the Saxons and the Romans. Now I'm curious.
Well, the hare was looked on as sacred because it seemed to disappear. Hares will run like crazy and then they can camouflage themselves so well, it seems they've disappeared. And the Celts and the Romans, well, especially the Celts, looked on it as a magical creature that could disappear and appear at will. And they got quite upset when the Romans started eating hares, because there were sacred animals to them, one among many. I've seen hares and I didn't realise how big they were. But yeah, let's hope they a few more of them appear.
And Thomas says, a possible idea for a short video. So, yeah, perhaps we'll... No, perhaps was the wrong word. We will at some point do a video on the sacred animals of the Saxons.
Well, the hares I saw are now about 30 foot underwater at Carsington Reservoir.
And we have a comment here on the same comment thread from Yami Poyo.
Hi, Yami.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Interesting idea. I'd like to see a video on the sacred herbs of to the Saxons myself. So that's something we'll have to look up.
Now
I've got some books on that.
I have a friend who is studying herb law. She was getting 100% in her exams. It's a very, very difficult thing. What I would suggest you do if you're into herbs is to get Nicholas Culpepper's book of herbs.
Or Gerald's Herbal.
Yeah.
Very old book.
But I mean, Culpepper's is probably the easiest one to get.
Well, I think they want us to do a video rather than read about it. So we'll look into it.
Well, we've got to be very, very careful because there's herbs out there that do you a lot of no good.
Yeah, but we're also going to cover a video on Viking gardening And when I buy another printer cartridge, I'll print you out the paper on Viking gardening. It's very interesting, actually.
All right.
It's from, I think, Denmark. And they've recently done some studies and archaeology kind of proving that they did have gardens.
Yeah, I'd like to know that, because if you think about it, you've got to have a garden, but what do they put in them? So
a quick comment here from Eirik Rickardson.
Hiya.
On the Anglo-Saxon sax. What a fun and interesting video on the sax. So you nearly said that wrong there.
Sax, yeah.
Then we have a comment here on the latest or the last reading subscriber comments video. And this comes from Tanji.
Hi, Tanji.
So hello Tanji from Canada.
Ah, right.
Hi Egil and Bragi.
Yo, babe.
Big hugs. Yay. Yeah. This was great fun. Listening to you both go over comments is brilliant. Yeah. I still adore you, the both of you. Big purple heart.
Thank you.
Please keep up the amazing, entertaining, educational, comedy fun. Your happy Canadian friend Tanji. Hello Tanji.
Hi, Tanji.
And she does these marvellous singing videos.
And also, what's the name of the pussycat you've got?
Yes.
I love pussycats.
Well, is that Jezebel?
No. I forget. Oh, well, I thought it was Tangy, but never mind.
Well, if you've got a cat, let us know what's the name.
I like pussycats.
Now, we have a comment here on your folk tale, The Cat and the Mouse.
Ah.
In the Italian folk tale, Buongiorno.
Meowsy wowsy.
And this comes from Arminius of Germania.
Oh, right.
So, hello. I do believe you've been on the channel before with a comment.
Yeah.
So, but if you haven't, welcome. And they say, pasta, benini, spaghetti, linguine, and the pizza pie. La bistro italiano, mamma mia, pasta pie. Now Mouse and the cat have got the diarrhea.
Nice one.
I thought that would make you laugh. So, I have a comment here from Cheetah.
Hi, Cheetah.
On the same video, the reading comments video.
Yeah.
Egil has glasses now.
Yeah, I've been having glasses for about 5 years.
Yes, I left a comment. Egil has had glasses for a long time.
Yeah.
And another comment here from Eirik Rickardson. This comment reading video was awesome.
Ah.
So many people with really cool things to ask and say about your videos. It's enlightening to hear them. Thank you, my Viking brothers, for doing this for us viewers. Well, we are making it for you guys, you know.
Well, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people got a lot of things to say. Not everybody listens, but on here, they do listen. And we're always glad to have your comments, opinions, and talk our things over if necessary.
And a comment on this video from Thomas Dale.
Hi, Tom.
Yay! Viewer comment reading. It'll be funny, one of my potentially similar video in the future. This one was read out. Oh look, I just read it out, Thomas.
Yeah, beware of the onion.
Yes. And this is on the live stream we did last week. We're not doing one today, we haven't got time. But we might try to get one on Friday, the day of this video. So, and this is from the Antlered one. Is one of the subscribers from our very good friend, Celtic God.
Yeah.
And they say, I'll leave and the stream crashes. Well, that was my fault, because stupid Bragi forgot to connect the battery power pack. Therefore, we would have had a much longer stream. Oh, it happens.
Hey, such is life.
And on the video, the older Firthark Rune Ken. And this comes from Tanji.
Hi, Tanji.
Raise the wind. What a great expression. Thank you for this.
Yeah.
Big purple heart and praising hands.
All right. Thank you.
So we always get lots of love.
Yeah.
And this from Tanji again. Hello, dear Egil and Bragi. Sending love from me and my pink hair. She does have very nice pink hair.
I know the lass, yeah.
And I do have 2 hamsters, but no cats. You got your cat answered, Egil.
Yeah.
Anymore, but I do love animals.
Yeah, I like cats and dogs.
You would know that.
Yeah.
What type of pets would Vikings have, if any? Typical hounds, birds of haps, the occasional frog. Big hugs to you both.
I would think probably dogs.
Dogs.
Because they're getting your food in and also protecting you.
If you're a child, you may be more likely to have a pet cat. It's often cats being found in children's graves, so we know that.
There you go. I've learned something.
And we are going to make a video on did the Vikings have pets in the future.
Ah, that's what we're angling.
But I'm going to do a bit of research on that so I know a bit more.
Yeah.
So, I've got an excellent comment here. You're going to like this one. This is from our very good friend, Cheetah.
Hi, Cheetah.
I've been researching my ancestry and found out I'm a direct descendant of Robert E. Lee.
Yeah.
I looked at his family tree and I found out he's related to Roland Ragnar Thorsson,
Yeah.
de Normandy. I'll probably pronounce that really bad.
Rollo the Ganger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Danish Viking who settled in Normandy and has a character Rollo on the Vikings TV show.
Yeah, I have heard of him.
And his bloodline is related to Sigurd II Magnarsson, King of Denmark, who was born in 786 and died in 853. He lived a good age, didn't he?
Yeah.
In Northumbria, England. And on Sigurd's side, his dad was Ragnar Lodbrok Sigurdsson, the famous legendary Swedish Viking who was born in Uppsala, Sweden and married to Aslag Sigurd's daughter.
Yeah.
And his wife was King Aila of Northumbria.
King Aila.
Aila, yeah, I always pronounce that wrong. Who got blood eagled after he ordered Ragnar's execution in the snake pit. Very excited to find out this. And I kind of left a comment saying, well, you're related to Daddy Dyer then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also you're related to Ivar the Boneless.
Yes.
It was he who got Aila blood eagled. And was supposed to have been killed at Repton, which is not far from us.
You know, not only do we have fantastic subs and fans, we also got people related to royal families and famous people in Viking history. So I thought that's a cool comment. So let's have a look. So a commenter in the same video from Martin Brown.
Hi, Martin.
He's changed his name again.
Oh.
It was Morton Brunei. Didn't the good guy in the film, The Book of Eli, eat a cat? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
At the very beginning.
One of the things we found actually in Iron Age excavations is that people would eat dogs but not cats. So that's a rarity. But a friend of my late father was a Belgian, and he was there when the Nazis occupied Belgium, and they would eat cats. And he said the only difference between a cat and a rabbit is the shape of the rib cage, which is why when you see rabbits on sale in this country, they're all got the fur head legs on, so you know you're buying a rabbit, not a cat. So I don't know whether it's true, but it's said that the Foreign Legion always had a cat that hung around the kitchen and then would disappear and then eventually be replaced by another cat.
Right, we've got one more comment because we've got to finish this.
Okay.
We're about running out of video time. And this comes from Eirik Lithardsson. And he says, oh my God, you two are just the best.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for that. And on that point, we're going to end this video because the camera's about to run out of video space.
Okay.
So thank you very much. It's
Bye.
been a long episode.
Yeah,
and don't forget, leave your comments.
Yeah.
We can read them out then.